Right now we're going to start our DET talks of our people who are attending. First up, Mark Wickersham, 6 minutes on the clock. Oh yeah, get a microphone. And it's on.
7 months ago, back in April of this year, my eldest daughter Gabby passed a driving test. Wow, I was delighted. I was so pleased for her. I was proud. For 24 hours. Then when the dust settled of all the celebrations, of course, then you get the flipping question. Daddy, I want a car. Well, you don't need one now, we can wait, there's no rush. No, I need one now. Why now? Well, I might forget how to drive. She's very persuasive, my daughter. Anyway, we went online and we started searching for cars, and we found one that was just right for a first-time driver. It was a small little Hyundai i10, and it was 2 years old at a local dealership, and it was the right colour. It was bright blue, awful colour, but she loved it, bright blue. So I rang up and I booked an appointment, took her to the garage to buy it, and the motor dealer. And as we were driving, I said, Gabby, let me explain the process that you go through to buy a car. Now I drive one of my cars is a Jaguar XKR. It's beautiful. It's in white, lovely shape. And when I bought it, it was not just the colour, but I saw the one where you could have the sport pack, and the sport pack was the one that took off the speed limiter, so it does 174 mile an hour. When you put your foot on the accelerator, it goes like shit off a shovel. But the reason I bought it was because although it comes in this beautiful white, with the sport pack you get the black wheels and you get the deep red brake housings, and it just looks beautiful. So when I went to buy this, I searched, did Google and looked for all the Jaguar dealers around the UK, and there were 2 dealerships had the exact car, new car, on their forecourt with everything I wanted. One was in a place called Nottingham, and one was in Hull, which happened to be a branch of my local dealership in Sheffield. So I sent an email to the dealership in Sheffield, said, can you get me that car from over in Hull, and what sort of deal will you do? And so they came back with an email and said, yeah, we can get it across for you, we can do it today, and we'll knock a few £100 off. Great, I thought. I took the email and I then went to the firm in Nottingham and I said, you've got the exact car I want, but somebody else has one, what deal can you do? They knocked £1,000 off, which is nice. I went back to my dealer in Sheffield and said, look, this other one's going to knock £1,000 off, what can you do? Oh, we can knock £1,000 off. Now this went backwards and forwards during the course of a week, and eventually I felt guilty once I'd got 10,000 knocked off the car, and I started thinking, do you know what? This feels awkward now, and I feel some loyalty to my local dealership because they dealt with my previous Jaguar for 9 years. So I bought the car from the local dealer, having got 10,000 off the list price. There's 4 different types of buyers. And the first type is the price-sensitive buyer. Now, when I do conferences full of accountants and bookkeepers, I ask the question, who has in their client base a price-sensitive buyer? And I get a forest of hands go up. And I explain to them, you're wrong. This is the biggest myth in pricing. No accounting firm, no bookkeeping firm has any price-sensitive buyers, because a price-sensitive buyer does not run a business. There's been various research from behavioural economists and price psychologists that estimate, yes, there are price-sensitive buyers in society, and the various studies put it at somewhere between 14 and 20%. It's not many. I ask the audience whenever I raise this issue, I said, think about your client base. Do you have clients that buy their coffee in Starbucks? Because if they do, by definition, they cannot be a price-sensitive buyer. If you have clients that own Apple products, by definition, they cannot be price-sensitive. So our clients are not price-sensitive. They're either the next category, which is the value buyer, or another level further up is the relationship buyer. But there is a 4th type that buggers everything up. The 4th type of buyer is the poker face buyer. These are the people that look like price-sensitive buyers. Because as Ron said a couple of days ago, it's the customer's job to get the best possible price. And we assume that when we get someone who looks like a price buyer, they want the lowest price. No. When I bought my car, I wasn't price sensitive. I had the money in my pocket to buy the car at list price. The motor dealerships let me play the price game and play them off one against the other. And that's exactly what happens in the accounting profession, the bookkeeping profession, that clients play the pricing game. They look for the cheapest, and they'll play one against the other and see if you can beat the price. We mustn't play that game. So I told Gabby that story, and she was very disappointed. She said, yeah, but Dad, if we do that and we negotiate on the price, what would happen if somebody else in the meantime comes along and offers a higher price? And I said, unfortunately, we'd have to go and look for another car. So we went for the test drive. And as the test drive's coming towards an end, she says, this car, the clutch feels so much smoother than the one I learnt to drive in. It seems great. And I'm thinking, oh, bugger. We get to the end of it, we jump out the car. The guy who was in the back seat from the motor dealership said, so what do you think? And unfortunately turned to Gabby. Gabby goes, oh, it's amazing. It's exactly what I want. I love the colour of this car. Bugger, I thought. I'm going to have to pay bloody list price, aren't I, for this? My name's Mark Wickersham. Thank you.